the knower, feeler, seer, and hearer. So just simply, it's this: the knower is the light bulb. They're the one that knows something. It's like they walk in a room and they know. It's like when I was in the backseat of the car and I knew I had to get out of there. There was a supernatural knowing. Did I hear that? Thing, right? A gut. It's like and it's rise to the surface. It's like they say, you know me, you're knower. It's rise to the surface. There's no visuals or audible or there's no angel. It's just I know. Yeah. And a lot of people, honestly, a lot of my knowers feel like heathens in church because they don't have a seeing and a hearing and all the fireworks. Yeah. They simply just know. It's like they know the truth and they have this intuition and it's supernatural. So God speaks to a knower through an intuition, a wisdom, clarity, a prompting. Paul to Timothy instinctively. There are those of you that think you can't hear God, and yet you have intuitively and supernaturally made decisions and life choices that have aligned with the will of God for your life. Then you have your seer. Your seer are those that God speaks to through pictures, imagery, dreams, visions. They're the ones that they see the orphanage being built and they're instantly filled with faith for it. Yeah. Or God speaks to them in a kind of a picture in their mind where they see it playing out.
I feel like Sean Bowles, I feel like he's kind of that way.
Exactly. Sean is he's a friend of mine, and he's very much like that. Yeah. And seers are actually very unique. In fact, we gave 155,000 people the prophetic personality test, and we found that the least amount were seers. So if you're a seer, you're on a unique level of hearing God through imagery, dreams, and visions. Then you have your hearers. And your hearers are those classic, like you and I were taught that hearing God, most of us were brought to the story with Samuel, which is, Eli says to him, go lay down, ask God, speak for your servant is listening. That's how we were taught, was that we would hear words, phrases, conversations, narrations. And so your hearers are their classic. They're kind of the traditional, and they really have a conversational relationship with God. They have a play-by-play. They hear something, they go a little bit longer, they hear something else. They're kind of classic journalers. They're really good at kind of documenting what God is saying, and they have a lot of words. And then lastly, you have our feelers. And our feelers are those that God interacts with in a very emotional, physical way. It can be a burden. It can be an emotion of feeling his heart for somebody or knowing what you're supposed to do or how to actually pray about something. Feelers are those that when they go into an environment, they actually experience something physically. And so many times we go, well, does everyone experience that? No. Does that make them wrong? No. It makes them different. And what I found is that all of us experience love uniquely, and all of us are created to hear God differently. And so the goal is not to compare. The goal is to figure out your primary way in which God interacts with you, and then grow in the other areas that are available to us.
Awesome. I want to encourage